It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Reverend Beth Yates. She began her journey as a student and a teacher of metaphysics in her early teens, and her journey continues to this day. I attest to that. A constant learner. She attended the chapel as a teenager, and she grew up in the Memorial Spiritualist Church in Norfolk. Her initial studies in spiritualism paved the way for a deeper exploration of metaphysics and the natural and universal laws. She is an ordained minister through the Church of Wisdom and a certified medium. She has served the Spiritualist Community as a speaker locally and nationally through the NSAC organization. Her ongoing studies at Delphi University have further enriched her understanding and expanded her repertoire of metaphysical methods. Please help me in welcoming Reverend Beth Yates. I'll adjust the camera while I'm here.
Oh yeah, the camera thing.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. We should schedule the presider and the speaker by height.
Wow. That really moved me today. What a journey it's been. What a journey it's been. Thank you. I'm going to change the energy because I was in a space. Did everybody enjoy last Sunday's Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Wasn't that amazing? It was powerful for me as well. First off, my kitchen, it was in chaos while preparing. Just soup. All I prepared was soup, and my kitchen was left in chaos. But while I was walking through my chaos, post-soup, post-Thanksgiving meal here, I was taking time to reflect on the gathering of the ingredients for my roasted veggie soup. Some things came from the fresh garden aspect of the grocery store, and other parts came from the freezer, because who wants to chop up sweet potatoes and squash and all those things that are heavy duty, right? So I chose carefully what would be fresh and what would be frozen. So that was just a reflection. My choices were based on convenience and economy. Of course, I just said I didn't chop anything that I could find in the freezer section. And then I moved further into remembering my family gatherings. As a child, as a young adult, I moved into remembering that when I was much younger, we would have Thanksgiving at one grandparent's house, and then we'd have Thanksgiving at another grandparent's house. And finally, it was easier to bring everybody to the one house that had the most kids, my house. So both grandparents and families would come. And it was always a particular menu. Are we ready for that list? The turkey, the dressing, the gravy, the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, sweet potato casserole, corn pudding. What else was there? Hot rolls. Okay, all of these things coming together. But as the family came together, it was a merging of what was special for either side of those family lines. One thing I don't remember having was a scrumptious banana pudding, such as the one we had last week. Oh my gosh. See what I remembered? Then as I moved into being married, before we had children, of course we had Thanksgiving at my family's house and Thanksgiving at his family's house. And those were teams to be reckoned with. One was all about making sure the dinner table got set, and the other one was all about what was on the Black Friday list, shopping at 8:30, 6:30 in the morning, Friday morning. So there was a true dichotomy of families. Later on, then I started inviting everybody because people in those families kind of merged out, and then we brought other people in to be a part of our family Thanksgiving. So these are the things that I was reflecting on. Last Sunday, we came together to honor with gratitude what we have for each other. In gratitude. An opportunity to come together in this place. Reflected on the message by Reverend Sharon on moving into a light, moving into the outer world because of expansion. I was reflecting on our coming together through the music, the prayers, the meditations, and the sounds from the back room while the feast was being laid out for our Thanksgiving. The fellowship after the service was amazing. The cleanup and the restoration of order as the space quietly emptied. If you were here last Sunday, you saw the chairs, you saw the tables surrounded by the chairs, and then it just seemed like a whisper. The tables were put away, and the chairs were restored to order, and the hymnals, the books were placed on the chairs. Everything came back together. I watched and listened to what was going on at some of the tables, and you may have too, because you may have moved from table to table. There's a different conversation. There's a different something going on. We had to revel over the food we were eating, or we would revel over a conversation or a message we'd received, or even the message of Thanksgiving and what our family traditions are. Each one here was filled not just with food, but something more. In my reflection, community, dignity, compassion, and again, the most scrumptious banana pudding ever. In my reflection, in my being in this space last Sunday, I had a surreal moment. I realized my joy while listening to the diverse conversations at the tables around me. Yes, we had turkey and all the trimmings and then some, but most importantly, souls were fed as table mates sat together, sharing whatever they wished. Take a moment. Maybe just close or soften your eyelids. What did you take away from last Sunday? If you were here, what was it that fed your soul? Not just your body. Even the Zoomers, what did you feel? What did you sense? Being here for the service, knowing that we were getting ready to share a feast, share a feeling of gratitude, of thanksgiving. Powerful. It's powerful when people come together with one purpose. It's powerful when people come together to share, to give freely and lovingly. All right. So, don't tell anybody, but it wasn't until Monday morning that I tackled the pots and the pans and the various utensils, along with taking out the trash from my soup making process on Saturday. I know, but I was here all day Sunday. I was reflecting on the true to me reason of Thanksgiving. I was grateful for the opportunity to cook for others. I was thankful for the community in this chapel. I was glad to be a part of this community, a community that supports me in ways I never would have imagined just 2 short years ago. I look out and I see friends. I see people who are on their own missions, but we're all on the same mission. Expansion, love, gratitude. We're all here for the same reason, but we all have our own reason for being here. And I acknowledge that. I support that. The community of this chapel is an entity unto itself. Each one who enters, physically or on Zoom, leaves an energetic mark. Now, again, I invite you, take a moment and reflect, if you wish, on how you felt the first time you walked through the doors or the first time you clicked on that Zoom link. What were you feeling? What were you sensing? Now compare it to last Sunday if you were here, or wherever you were last Sunday. Is there a difference? Is there a change? Is there a shift? What mark was left on you? What mark have you left on others? It's a powerful energy in this place. It's steadfast and it's growing. It's expanding. With every service, with every class, with every interaction that goes on in this place, it's growing. It's expanding to a point that we don't even know what it's beginning to draw in again. Because it was the energy of the space that drew me in. My friend Susan Bauer says, you got to come over to the Metaphysical Chapel of Life. And here I am. And I'm touched every time I walk into this space. I was touched the first time Brandon hugged me at the door. I was touched the first time I heard Trish play her guitar? Ukulele. See, I wanted to call it the right thing. I was touched by the healing. I was touched by the message service. I found a home. Found a home in this place that's touched me greatly. I also was reflecting some more, because, that's what I do. You realize that here in the United States, we celebrate a time of Thanksgiving before we move into the Christmas time of year. And I'm going to stop here for just a minute because it's almost like Trish read my lecture, because she asked us to prepare for the solstice, which is the 21st, before the 25th of December, Christmas. She asked us to prepare. And she said, bring in what it is that you would like with abundance. Grow what it is that you want, that you're desiring. Christmas is a time of wonder, wishes, magic, and joy. This is so fitting that we have a time of gratitude before we expand that energy of bringing something in, a love. This is a universal law we draw into us based on our gratitude. That's what she asked us to do. To expand ourselves, our awareness, our acceptance of something coming into our spaces based on our gratitude. All of the moments, all of the situations that are growing us and changing us, can we be thankful for them? Could be the high stuff, it could be the low stuff, but did we learn something from it? If we can have gratitude for the hard stuff and have as much gratitude for it as we have for the easy stuff, just walking through this door, the door to this chapel. If we can have as much gratitude for those things, there is no limit to what we can have, create, or bring into our space. And not only our own personal space, but the space of others. Health and well-being, joy, peace, confidence, whatever it is. Gratitude is the magnetic and energetic force that moves all things into the space of receiving the gifts that we desire. This space is magical. This space is magical. It brings together people, hearts, minds, ideas, growth, and acceptance. Yeah, last Sunday was different from my past Thanksgivings. It has a deeper meaning, a soul-touching, special moment I won't soon forget. I'd like to offer this short prayer. Will you join me? Dear God, thank you for family, friends, and the people who support us. Their presence enriches our lives in beautiful ways. We thank you for the gift of this community. Amen. Now I'm going to close with a short message from a sign that I'd seen on the way to church last Sunday. And it was very divinely crafted, the message on this sign. It said, let us be thanksgiving. Let us be thanksgiving. Thank you.
Always such a powerful message giver. Thank you so much. So much to thank.